I was 13. It was the most traumatic thing ever in my life.
Growing up, I always thought that my dad would die when I was 13, just because his dad died when he was 13. It didn't make sense, but it always scared me.
If I knew that we were going to die when he did, you'd have spent more time with him. You'd have made time and come home and saw him as much as you could. But you didn't. And he just went out everywhere. And when I went back to school, this is when all my schooling went downhill, because my form teacher at the time, I took a letter to school, gave it to him, and it just from my mum explaining what happened, right? And I saw him read it. He looked at me and he just held it up and tore it in 4 pieces and just dropped it in bin without even looking at bin. He was just so hated me, and it was obvious. And from that day on, I wouldn't go to school, I wouldn't do any lessons, I didn't take my exams, I wouldn't be told what to do, and I just went right downhill after that. When he died, the church in the village, it was packed all downstairs, up in the balconies. There was people lining streets down to Main Road. Everybody in the village come out to pay their respects to him. That's how much he was liked. But he played piano at the local club for 37 years, so, 3 nights a week. So a popular guy, talented musician, brilliant pianist. My dad was like a gentle giant. Right, he was just such a nice guy that you never wanted to disappoint him or upset him or anything. If he asked you to run down to the shop for him, you just do it. You just wanted to please him all the time. But it wasn't just me. Everybody liked my dad. I've never heard anybody say a bad word about him.
Now that I've moved out for university and I've tried living out on my own, I think I'm sort of ready to leave and not come back. As sort of sad as it is to say, I think going home isn't my home anymore. And I was talking to my aunt about this, because my cousin also moves out, and I think there's like an unspoken thing where when you move out for the first time, when you come back, your home that you grew up in isn't as homely as it used to be. And it's a weird feeling, but it's how I feel now. So I think it's nice to look back on where I was born and where I was raised, and this village that has so much history to me and my dad, and sort of say that's the end for me. My dad is someone who I've always wanted to impress. That's part of the reason why I came to do a master's degree, because he was so proud of me when I graduated from undergraduate. And the way he talked about me doing a master's degree sounded like he really wanted me to do it just as much as I wanted to do it. He's someone who I've always looked up to, even as a kid. Going places in the car, I would always look at him, not out the window. Even though we never really say it to each other, face to face, we both know we love each other. That's just through actions instead of words.